Today in my YouTube channel, I am going to show how to use computer application to teach students English sentence formation in a very colorful and an interesting manner. First, I will describe how this particular tool with its color chart can be used to explain English sentence formation. By using the color chart in the computer screen, we can display how English sentences are formed by using a circle. A larger circle for the sentence and a smaller circle drawn at its center for the verb nucleus. Use a lighter color for the center, the inner circle, and a darker shade for the outer circle, shown in the video. Now, after you learn how to use the computer color chart, we will describe how to explain English sentence structure formation with the help of the verb nucleus concept and in SVXY hypothesis. The verb nucleus concept is an innovative concept which explains, similar to a cell and its nucleus, how verb acts as the center of any sentence. And the SVX hypothesis is based on S equals S plus V plus X to show that verb nucleus is surrounded by subject unit and X units and later Y units, which are called adverbs. Now we'll proceed to step 1, simple sentence formation. Draw a circle with an inner circle and mark V as the verb nucleus and mark the subject S and form a basic sentence. Next, we expand the sentence as subject and X unit by adding X units added to it, and later Y units can be added as adverbs. Now you can see step 2. We introduce the verb nucleus with secondary auxiliaries as the center. Most students find it difficult to understand that some main actions are accompanied by secondary auxiliaries, but yet these secondary auxiliaries and the main actions are part of the verb nucleus. By explaining this, we can add a subject and expand it later with X units added to it. Now we proceed to step 3. After the students comprehend the basic rules, proceed to show how compound sentences are formed by using independent sentences with circles joined with a link word. They will get the idea that compound sentences have independent verb nuclei with their surrounding units which are completely independent from each other. After they understand the concept of compounding, you can proceed to complexity. After they understand compound sentences, we can explain complex sentence formation by showing how to make complex sentences. One independent sentence which has its own verb nucleus and its own units, other X units which surround its own verb nucleus, but it is joined to another sentence which is dependent on it, although the dependent sentence 2 has its own verb nucleus. Therefore, that dependent sentence is not called a sentence but a clause. Finally, we proceed to the final stage of English sentence formation called compound complex sentences. In this formation, which is the most complex, we have two independent sentences with their own independent verb nuclei joined to a dependent clause which is joined to one of the main sentences, but the dependent clause too has its own verb nucleus. So when there are two main sentences, two or three main units which are completely independent from each other but at the same time contain some dependent units with their own verb nuclei, we have the most complex stage of English sentence formation called compound complex sentences. Now in the summary section, I will illustrate with examples how this can be explained further to the students who find it difficult to understand the English word order. Now in the summary section you can see, first, drivers stop vehicles. Stop is the verb nucleus and drivers is the subject. Vehicles is the X unit. So these are very basic simple sentence formation. When we proceed to compound sentences as shown in the video, we have two independent verb nuclei, gave and built, and they have their own subjects. Gave has the subject Nimal and built has the subject Kamal. The money is the surrounding unit for gave and the house is the surrounding unit for built, but they are completely independent from each other but are joined with the link word and. Now in the third stage we come to what you call complex sentences. The contractor knew that the roof leaked. There we have the contractor knew as the main independent sentence, but there is a dependent part that the roof leaked. When the word that starts a sentence, immediately we must understand it's a clause. The roof is the subject of the verb nucleus leaked, so we can understand that dependent clauses too have their own verb nuclei and the surrounding units. Finally, we come to compound sentences. The contractor knew, but he did not tell us. Now these two are independent sentences. Knew is the verb of the verb nucleus of the part the contractor knew, and did not tell is the verb nucleus of the other part, but both are independent. Now we come to understand compound complex sentences very easily by understanding that the roof leaked is a dependent part of the sentence unit. The contractor knew that the roof leaked, but we join it to another independent unit, but he did not tell us. So in this way you can very easily and in a very short time explain how these sentence structures develop from the simple stage to the final complex stage. For this purpose, you may use the computer application, which is very, very interesting to the students.